Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome, you guys. Welcome to this session on CAT 2025, where we are going to be covering VRC PYQs. Over the last 7-8 sessions, we have covered a lot of PYQs, and we are continuing on that path so that you get familiar to all the types of questions that can appear in any of the exams. Let me begin by introducing myself. My name is Abhilasha, and of course, I'm your favorite VRC mentor. Hi, Ayush. Good afternoon. I'm happy that you're here, and I hope that you can all hear me and see me very clearly. Can I get a yes or no for that? If you can hear me, give me a quick yes so that I know I'm audible, visible, and yeah, we are ready. Come on, guys, quickly give me a yes or no. Ayush, can you give me a yes or no if you're able to see me? I am also trying to check on my own phone if I'm audible and visible. Oh, yes. Thank you, Ayush. Thank you. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, great. Hi, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. Can you quickly give me a like also so that I know that we are visible, audible, and all of that? Please share the session and also please subscribe to the session as is possible. And of course, because today I'm live streaming from home, my maid's phone had to ring. It just has to. Murphy's law, I'm sure you're aware of that. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong at a time that you don't want it to. So, well, yeah, that's life and that's Murphy's law. So, I knew today that when I would be live streaming from home, something would go wrong. And what better than to have the phone ring and go dang, 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 something, something, something. Anyway, so that's that. Let's quickly go back and recap what we did in the last few sessions. We have discussed the CAT pattern, and now we are discussing various different types of questions that are appearing in different examinations. So, in the last session, also, I had taken up a few questions. Those, of course, were from different exams. Today, also, we'll be covering a few questions, all from different examinations. Guys, can I get a quick like? All of you, can you please like the session so that we can get started? I am waiting for another 2 minutes and then we will start. In the meantime, I hope um, I don't know if any of you are writing CAT 2024 just for a trial, but if you are, you know that the CAT mock has been released by IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Calcutta, and that it was a very interesting paper in that DI this time had 22 questions. So that was the interesting thing. Earlier, DI has had traditionally 20 questions, but for the first time, you have 22 questions in DI. So that's the interesting thing. But other than that, not much. Sentence placement was not part of the CAT mock, but hey, that's how life is and that's how the paper is. Okay, so let's get started. Today I've got one RC for you and a few VA questions which we will cover. Okay, so let's get started. Let's do this. Here's your RC. I've divided this into 3 parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3, and then the questions will follow. Okay. So I hope that's all right. Let's get started. Let's read. I'm going to give you a minute to read, and then I'll explain this part of the passage to you, and then we will continue. Okay, so let me move myself out of the screen. Though I don't really need to move myself out, the screen is big enough for you to read. All right, let me mute myself. All right. I hope you have read this part of the passage. Let us also now try and understand what the author is saying. He says, considering the multitude of situations in which we humans use numerical information. So he says, you must consider the many types of situations in which humans use numbers. Numerical information means numbers. So life without numbers is inconceivable. That means you cannot imagine life without numbers. Okay. So we start out by saying life without numbers is impossible or inconceivable. Okay. Then he says, but what was the benefit of numerical competence for our ancestors before they became Homo sapiens? So he says, okay, for us, life without numbers is inconceivable. But what about our ancestors? Why did they need numbers? Okay. Then he says, why would animals crunch numbers? So when we were animals, why were we using numbers then? So he says it turns out that processing number offers a significant benefit for survival, which is why this behavioral trait is present in many animal populations. So he says that numbers is equal to survival. If you are able to process numbers, you may just be able to survive, right? And that's why animals also have the ability to crunch numbers, right? So that's what the first paragraph says. So if you look at this passage, this is talking about the fact that animals are able to crunch numbers or use numbers because it helps in survival. Okay, so that is what the passage says. All right, let's go to the second paragraph. Here you are. We will discuss this, read it, and then discuss it. All right, guys, let's get started. So, here, this paragraph was a very interesting one. It spoke about the fact that now, in the previous paragraph, we remember we spoke about the fact that animals need numbers. Now, here is a very beautiful way you understand how animals need number, and the author gives you an example of a bacteria called Vibrio fischeri, which has a special property that allows it to produce light. But it doesn't produce light if there are not enough Vibrio fischeri. If the number is adequate, then only they produce light. Otherwise, they do not produce light. Okay. Now here they say that several studies. वो light जला दो भाई क्यों बंद कर दी. There are several studies which are examining animals in their ecological environment, and that those studies suggest that representing numbers enhances the animal's ability to exploit food sources, hunt prey, avoid predation, navigate in its habitat, and persist in social interactions. Now, before numerically competent animals evolved, you had single celled microscopic bacteria, and they were also able to do this. They're able to grow and divide. And microbiologists have also found that these guys also have a social life and are able to sense. And for that, they give you the example of the Vibrio fischeri. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next part of the passage. Let's All right, let's understand this. So it is saying that these Vibrio fischeri, now they have to communicate the cell number. And how do they do it? They do it through a chemical language. So all of them secrete communication molecules, and the molecules, number of molecules increases as the cells increase, as the animals increase. So when the molecule hits a certain amount, which is called the quorum, all the bacteria glow. So this behavior is called quorum sensing. That means you get to understand how many numbers are there. Once that quorum is reached, every bacteria just lights up. Now, this is not just an anomaly. Anomaly means a strange behavior of the Vibrio fischeri. All the bacteria use quorum sensing to communicate their cell number. What an interesting thought we have. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at our first question. Which of the following cannot be inferred from the passage? Option 1 says ancestors of Homo sapiens used numerical competence. Ancestors of Homo sapiens interacted solely using numbers. Ancestors of Homo sapiens sensed numbers. Ancestors of Homo sapiens hunted in groups. And ancestors of Homo sapiens exploited resources in groups. Which of these cannot be inferred from the passage and which of these can be inferred? Very quickly, let's take a look. Checking for your answers. You can start giving your answers in the chat box, guys. All right, I'm waiting for your answers, guys. So let's take a look. So which ones can be inferred? Ancestors of Homo sapiens used numerical competence. The very first paragraph said this. So inferable. They interacted solely using numbers. Can I infer that they interacted solely using numbers? Probably not. They sensed numbers, can be inferred because a bacteria like Vibrio fischeri would sense. They hunted in groups, yes, inferred. Exploited resources in groups also. The only one that cannot be inferred is option number B, and that's your correct answer. Okay. All right, let's go to the next question. All right, let's look at the second question. Which of the following statement best defines quorum sensing in bacteria? So what is quorum sensing? Let's understand and let's identify. Come on, guys. Need some answers. Come on, everyone. Quickly, quickly, guys. Let's get your answers in. We understood that quorum sensing means that you have to have the enough numbers, the exact number or the minimum number for there to be a quorum, right? Once that happens, the bacteria can come to light in the case of Vibrio fischeri or in other cases, whatever, right? So let's take a look. So which of the following statement best defines quorum sensing? Let's take a look. Bacteria respond when they discern enough numbers around them. Yes, this is quorum sensing, that if 5 is the quorum, 5 are there, they respond. Okay, I'll put a star on this. Bacteria multiply only till they reach the required numbers. Well, that the passage has not said anything like this for quorum sensing. They chat only when they are in groups. Again, we don't know if they chat only when they're in groups. They do not communicate beyond a certain numbers. No, they start communicating after a certain number. So not 4. They communicate only in numerical terms with others. No, they're communicating in chemical terms anyway. So the correct answer for us will be option number A, and that's your answer. Okay. All right, let's go to the third question. Here you are. Which of the following is not based on the premises of the passage? Here's your question. We're going to take a minute and try and answer this one. All right, let's take a look at this question. Uh, which is not based on the premises of the passage to de-escalate a border tension, countries carry out minor deployment. No one can whistle a symphony. It takes a whole orchestra to play it. Team fears a red card as it would present an advantage for the opponents. People protest in large numbers because it helps them get their voices heard. Okay. Politicians rally with numbers to woo their undecided voters. Okay. So all right, let's understand. A is something that is based on the premise of numbers, right? So A is based on the premise of numbers. So cannot be my answer because it is based on the premise. Okay. B says that no one can whistle a symphony. It takes a whole orchestra to play. That's incorrect, actually. Right? So, this might be our answer. I'll put a star on this. Teams fear a red card because it would be an advantage for the opponents because the number of the opponents would increase. So again, you're playing on numbers, so should not be an answer. People protest in large numbers. Again, you're playing on numbers. So is one of the premises of the passage, so cannot be my answer. Politicians rally with numbers. Again, you're playing with numbers, so cannot be my answer. So the only one that is the correct answer is B, and that's the one that's saying that it takes a whole orchestra, but it's actually not about the numbers, right? That numbers give you strength or numbers give you power. So the best answer, yes, is B. Correct. All right, let's read the next question. Now, this one is not based on the previous passage. There is a passage of its own. So let's read the passage and then understand. The question says, based on the passage, the writer's disappointment can best be summarized as. So writer is disappointed. Why is he disappointed? Let's find out. All right, let's take a look at this question. So, question number 4 says Twitter is not on the master of a newspaper. It's not the name of a newspaper, but Twitter has become its ultimate editor. So, that is what the writer's grouse is, that Twitter has become the editor of the newspaper. As the ethics and mores of that platform have become those of the paper itself has increasingly become a kind of performance space. So, what's on Twitter is also on the newspaper. Stories are chosen and told in a way to satisfy the narrowest of audience rather than to allow a curious public to read about the world and then draw their own conclusions. So, he's essentially unhappy about the fact that the newspaper has become a mirror image of Twitter. Okay. Let's take a look at what the writer's disappointment can be summarized as. Newspapers get influenced by followers on social media platforms, not by the followers, by the platform itself. So, not A. Newspapers create their own narratives to control the audience. But if they were creating the narratives, author would not be unhappy. So, not 2. Newspapers cave into the narratives shared on social media platform. Yes, that is what his grouse is. Newspapers are ready to compromise with their ethics. No, we don't get this from the passage that they're ready to compromise with their ethics. So, not D. Newspapers fear to speak outside the narrow confines of social media. Not this also. They're afraid to speak. We don't know. So, the best answer for us is option number C. That's your correct answer. Okay. I hope you got that. Let's go to the next question. Question number 5. And this is a very cute grammar question. Which of the above sentences have incorrect usages of article? Take 2 minutes and we'll try and find out which ones have the incorrect usage. All right, let's take a look at this question. Okay, so you have to find the sentences where the articles are used incorrectly. Now, we are going to a restaurant, but we haven't decided which one appears to be a correct sentence. Let's look at the second one. We went to the toilet behind a tree. Okay, that's also okay. It was the November after we went to Indonesia. Looks all right to me. My friend is traveling to UK, to the UK. So therefore 4 has an error. She drinks medicine by a liter, no, by liters or by the liter. Okay. So therefore 5 has an error. Would you rather go out or watch TV? Not a TV, but watch TV. So again, 6 has an error. So 4, 5, 6 have an error. So part B is the part that will be the correct answer. That means these are the ones that have incorrect usages of articles. Okay. So B is the correct answer. All right, let's go to the next one. Question number 6 for you. All right, I've got an answer from Satyam for this question. Very nice. Let's take a look. Okay, sure. So, this question essentially says that we can think of the history of life on Earth as a vast long term experiment in pure competition. Every living organism is competing with all other organisms for resources. Okay. Nature is a laboratory of unfettered competition. It's a dog eat dog, no holds barred, day in, day out struggle. There are no governmental regulators to protect the weak or favor the strong. All organisms are given a chance, but not necessarily an equal chance. As the climate and the environment change, and change they do, some organisms are favored over others at times, but these advantages are fleeting. What nature gives, nature can take away. Okay, so it's a very harsh statement that people are out to kill each other. It's a pure competition. Whoever will survive just on the strength or on their own strength. Without unforgiving competition, planet will be inundated with the weak. Oh, we don't know if it will be inundated with the weak. So eliminate this. This is not a conclusion. Forgiveness is alien. We are not talking of forgiveness. So eliminate this also. Please understand, the topic was not forgiveness. Nature gives everyone a fair opportunity. Again, it does not. Where did the passage say it was giving a fair opportunity? Right? There are some advantages fleeting, not necessarily an equal chance. So it doesn't say fair opportunity. Brutal competition is the only constant in the natural world. Yes, competition is critical to ensure. We don't know if it is critical. It says there is harsh competition, and that's what the reality of the world is. There's nothing else out there, just harsh, brutal competition. Okay, and that, guys, is the correct answer. Okay, I hope you got that, Satyam. Others also, I hope you were able to understand this question. It's a very interesting question. Very, very good questions that we are getting today. All right. With that, we come to the end of today's session, guys. All you need to do is remember to hit the like button, share the session with your friends and family, subscribe, and also hit the bell icon. Please remember to do that. We are going to be back with this session again, same time, same place, next Thursday, 1 p.m. I will see you soon. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Adios, my amigos. How to increase your score from 221 above? Well, Satyam, what you can do if you wish to improve your score from 21 is to read a lot, number one. So when you read from the passage, please identify what the key ideas are and keep them, keep writing them somewhere. So you're able to identify what the key ideas are, and then when you start answering your questions, you will score better. Also, the VA questions are always a good bet for scoring. So those out of those 8, you can at least get 6 right very easily. So that's where you can score. Okay. All right, I'll stop now. Thank you. I hope you got that, Satya. Bye bye. Thank you, guys. I will see you next week. Take care. Goodbye. God bless you.